There's a quiet discomfort some people feel when a stranger tries to start a conversation. It's not hatred. It's not arrogance. It's not even necessarily social anxiety. It's simply resistance, a subtle tightening in the chest, a desire to withdraw. If you don't want to talk to strangers, psychology has several explanations, and most of them are far more rational than you think. At a biological level, the human brain is wired for threat detection. The amygdala constantly scans for unfamiliar cues. Strangers represent unpredictability. We don't know their intentions, values, or emotional state. Even in safe environments, unfamiliarity activates low-level vigilance. For some nervous systems, that activation is stronger. What feels like, "I just don't feel like talking," may actually be your brain conserving energy by avoiding uncertain social input. Personality also plays a role. Introversion is not shyness. It's about stimulation thresholds. Some people gain energy from social novelty. Others lose it. Talking to strangers requires rapid processing. Reading tone, interpreting microexpressions, adjusting responses in real time. That cognitive load can feel draining for individuals who prefer depth over breadth. It's not fear. It's efficiency. Past experiences quietly shape this response as well. If previous interactions with strangers led to embarrassment, rejection, manipulation, or discomfort, the brain learns association patterns. It doesn't need trauma to build avoidance. Even small negative moments accumulate. Over time, the nervous system chooses familiarity because it predicts lower emotional cost. There's also the role of boundaries. Modern culture often promotes extroversion as a social ideal. We're encouraged to network, to be open, to engage constantly. But psychologically healthy boundaries include the right to choose where your attention goes. Not wanting to engage with strangers can reflect selective social investment. Some individuals prefer fewer, deeper connections rather than wide, surface-level interactions. Control is another factor. Conversations with strangers contain unknown variables. You can't predict the direction, length, or emotional tone. For individuals who value predictability, this lack of control creates subtle stress. Avoidance, in this case, isn't antisocial behavior, it's regulation. However, it's important to distinguish preference from fear-based avoidance. If the reluctance comes with racing thoughts, catastrophic assumptions, or intense physical anxiety, that may signal social anxiety patterns. In those cases, the mind overestimates threat and underestimates coping ability. But if the reluctance is calm and simply rooted in disinterest, it likely reflects personality structure rather than dysfunction. Cultural upbringing matters too. In some societies, strangers are approached openly. In others, distance is the norm. What feels rude in one context may be considered respectful privacy in another. Social behavior is partly biological, partly learned. Interestingly, people who hesitate to talk to strangers often possess strong observational skills. When you're not busy speaking, you're noticing. You read dynamics. You assess environments. You conserve emotional bandwidth. There is awareness in restraint. The modern world increases forced micro-interactions, ride-shares, networking events, digital messaging, public spaces. Constant accessibility doesn't mean constant availability is psychologically healthy. Choosing silence in certain contexts can be a form of self-regulation, not isolation. Not wanting to talk to strangers doesn't automatically mean you lack social skills. It may mean you are selective, energy-conscious, or wired for deeper connection. The key question is not whether you talk to strangers, but whether the choice feels empowering or limiting. Sometimes avoidance shrinks your world. Sometimes it protects it. The difference lies in whether fear or discernment is guiding the silence.